everybody, welcome back to another video. It's the T on NPD and relationships. Hello everyone, to all of my new subscribers and new family members. Hello, hi, welcome. And to my tribe and family at large, welcome back, fam. Thank you all so much for, of course, coming back and watching another video. Fam, you know I'm always talking about our weekly live stream that we do right here on YouTube and also on the Facebook platforms. Listen, we're getting back to our Thursday nights, y'all. I am super duper excited. Okay, so we are in the series, Are You Spiritually Compromised? Okay, so there are different topics that we are going through, talking about being spiritually compromised. I'd love to see your face in the place. Okay, I really would. This is where we get to the meat of the matter. This is where we start to really dig into the soulish things that lead us to the place of compromise, that lead us to these relationships with narcissists and toxic individuals that are so devastating and impact our lives in such a negative way. So we need information, okay? And even more than information, we need revelation, which can only come by the Holy Spirit, okay? And y'all know I'm always talking about, listen, let the Lord do it. We always have to remember that, listen, God is on the throne. He desires to see us healed and whole, not just healed, but whole as well. And also, these are some of the things that we're talking about in these live streams that we do each week. Okay, so I'd love to see you there. All right, read some of the comments below, and then you will kind of see what we're doing. You know what people have to say about it. All right, y'all. Y'all know I'm also asking. I'm asking you all to partner with me. Okay, I'd love for you to partner with me with that like button. Make sure you hit it for me. Okay, y'all, this is a partnership. Listen, I'm not asking you for a dime. I just ask you, please hit that like button. All right, and if you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button as well. I would love to have you a part of this community. All right, but the goal of the day is always 2.1K plus on the likes. If you rocks with your girl, y'all, what? Hit that like button, hit that like button. I need y'all to hit the like button for your girl. All right, so listen, y'all, this is where we truly partner. Okay, if you want to partner with me on something, I am not asking you to give a dime. I would love for you to donate if that's what you want to do. But if you don't, please, I would love the like button. Okay, so I just can't say that enough. And for those of you that are hitting it already, let me say kudos to you. My hat is off to you. Mwah. And send you a big kiss and a hug. All right, so thank you so much. Continue to support the channel in that way. All right, y'all, last but not least, certainly Seduced by Satan, pinned in the description below. Yours truly, okay, is co-authoring this thing. Yes, I am. Okay, I'm going in on these birds. Okay, it is what it is. All right, so this is where you get to see a cerebral / somatic narcissist. Listen, this is where, I mean, this clown was, y'all, if you listen, it is unbelievable. Okay, I'm talking about a pearl clincher, a stopper, jaw dropper. Yes, it is that. Okay, and I'm telling you, I've never seen anything like it, but I'd love for you to pick up your copy today. All right, the link is pinned in the description below. Get a copy for yourself. Don't you be nice and buy a copy for somebody else too. Okay, and as I tell y'all before, as in the past, recommend it to your book club. All right, it would definitely be something to talk about. All right, let's jump into the topic of this video. Y'all, so the narcissist is with the new supply, okay? And what happens when they are with the new supply but ready to come back to you? What happens? How do you know that that's what's going on? Y'all, this particular video topic was this one right here came out of a conversation. Actually from someone that was a family member that called up and was like, yeah, I need to talk to you to one of my clients. And so we were discussing the whole situation, and yes, I got permission. I'm not saying names, but definitely to talk about, this particular situation. Yeah. Yes, indeed. Okay, so let's get into it. So when the narcissist is with the new supply and they are ready to come back to you, This is a real different situation, but it happens often. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what happens in this situation. Now, the reason that the narcissist is usually unhappy and wants to come back is a lot of times in this particular type of situation, either the primary supply being yourself, okay, you either force the discard, meaning that you forced the narcissist to discard you, or you discarded them before they were ready or had actually properly vetted the new supply. Okay. So in that case, the narcissist doesn't have a choice but to move on to the new supply. Now, that doesn't mean that the new supply is ample supply. What that means is that they're forced to just move on. Now, in a situation like this is where you're going to get this type of behavior. Okay. What happens? Well, when the narcissist gets with the new supply and the new supply has not been properly vetted, but they have been grooming that new supply, they know that the new supply does have something that they can use. However, it may not be to the degree of the fact that they're ready to give you up. You understand what I'm saying? Who is the primary supply, right? So remember, there is a fuel matrix, right? And the fuel matrix works and it hinges off of the primary supply. So if the new supply is not going to give that supply that's potent, just like that primary supply, then what's going to happen is there's going to be a deficit in the fuel matrix. So the narcissist is not going to get the fuel that they were getting from having you and the new supply. But let me just be clear. When the new supply came aboard, you had already been with the narcissist probably years or months, weeks or probably months. And it's usually months and years. You were that supply that was parentified. You were the main supply. You were the one that took care of, basically everything with the narcissist. You were the responsible one. Let me just put it like that in the situation. So what ends up happening in this type of situation is that the narcissist, of course, does not want to lose you, right? But when you got to asking questions and all of the different things that happened, and you found text messages from the new supply, and the new supply was like, and you were reading them. Some of y'all took some pictures of them. Okay, y'all took pictures of what was happening on that text message thread. So because you didn't want the narcissist to lie and talk about they didn't, and then you went back and told the narcissist, showed it to them. They gaslit the mess out of you. I don't know where you made that up. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I didn't do that. That wasn't from my phone. And that is not the truth. They tell you all kinds of craziness. So this is basically what was going on that actually led up to the discard. Now, what happens in this particular situation? They're there with the new supply, whether they're living with the new supply or they have, they're with that new supply. The new supply lives separate from the narcissist, whatever. It doesn't matter. But they're there. Okay. Now, when the narcissist figures out, and it takes them about 6 to 8 weeks through that love bomb and future faking situation, to figure out if they want to stay or if this is a good situation for them or not. Now, a narcissist needs, I'm talking about tons of supply, especially in a situation like this, because they're coming out of a discard of a primary supply like yourself and trying to see if this new supply is going to fit the mold and fit the bill of being a primary supply. They don't know that yet because all of this happens so fast. Okay. Now, in this situation, the narcissist has figured out that the new supply ain't going to be able to do what you did. Okay. So now this is where the problem comes in. So now they're over there posting up with the new supply, all of these different things. And in this particular situation, y'all, it was really crazy because that new supply was like really being like real nasty towards, this person. Okay. Really nasty, kind of like, oh, I got him. I'm this, I'm that, y'all, some of y'all done had to deal with a new supply like that. Okay. And so it was kind of funny, but not funny at the same time when the narcissists started doing what they were doing. Okay. So in this instance, they found out it's been about a good hot 6 to 8 weeks. They done with the love bomb, future faking, and all of that. Now they trying to see, okay, is this gonna really work? Okay, is this really gonna be what it needs to be? And they found out that it wasn't. You know, um, looking at the pictures and listening to the story, I already knew it wasn't gonna be. But this is what happens. Okay, a lot of you all have probably been through the same thing. The new supply wasn't able to cut it. So what happens? The narcissist is over there now taking this new supply, basically telling them that, doing the blame shifting, because that's what they start doing. Everything is the new supply's fault, and all of these different things. Now the supply, the main supply, the primary supply, still no contact, still remaining no contact. So this is what they start to do. They start to blame the new supply for everything, because you got to realize they have to create a situation that will cause them to have a disruption and to cause them to start arguing and different things like that. So they're going to start blaming the new supply for everything, not taking accountability for anything that happens bad in the relationship. Is all on the new supply. Okay, so once they do that, now, okay, so the new supply don't know what's going on. Especially, in this case, when you got a new supply out there that just think they all that in a bag of chips with some dip on the side. Now they over there thinking, oh, well, what happened to my perfect fairy tale relationship? Well, you shouldn't have been out there, showboating and doing, because now you got the clown. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they over there taking them through the devaluation, because what they've realized is that they jumped too soon. And so they didn't have the time to vet them. So what they're doing is they're trying to fill you out. You still no contact. They're trying to get in contact with you. You won't answer the phone. You know what I'm saying? So what's the next thing? They're going to come to your family, because at this point, the narcissist is desperate. Okay. When they jump ship too early, okay, and they get with a new supply that can't cut the mustard for them, but all they were just looking for is just a little a break from you. They weren't looking to leave and to be gone forever. This was just like a little break. I just want to do this, and and I'm coming back. No, you said no, I'm not gonna let you do that. This is up. It's up for you, buddy. That's it. So what's happening now, or what's going to happen? The new supply is going through this devaluation stage. The narcissist is desperate. Now they reaching out to you. Some of y'all have experienced the narcissist showing up to your job. Okay, some of y'all got hundreds, sometimes tens and tens of what do they call it? Burner numbers calling you. But in this situation, let me just refer back real quick. The family, the clan of Crows called her up. Was like, what just happened? What's been going on with y'all? That family didn't know that the narcissist had basically cut up the way. They knew that the narcissist was going to do it, but they didn't know what had actually happened until the narcissist said something. So the family came back trying to advocate. The client said, no, I'm done. And the only reason that they were able to reach her was because she didn't want to disrespect the parent or the older, didn't want to be disrespectful to them, because they had never done anything to do to her like that. But this is what happens. They will try to reach out. If they can't get you, they'll try to get a family member in that statue that you haven't had a problem with, that they know you respect. They're going to try to pull that family member in and try to get you back on board. But this is how a narcissist behaves in the desperation when you remain no contact. And I'm going to tell you something. When you remain no contact in this situation, while they're trying to get away from that new supply, and they want to get back to you, and it doesn't look like the situation is going to work out with you, this is where they can actually start to destabilize. Why? Because they don't like what they just left with the new supply, and they're unsure if they can get back. Whenever you get a narcissist caught between two places like that, and they really don't have the supply on the new side, and then they're very unsure if they would be able to secure that primary supply like yourself, this is where you may see them actually go into that destabilization. Now, it's not just getting a phone call from the flying monkeys or the family about what happened. They're asking, can y'all meet? Can we get together? Can we talk about this? Because, they're having an issue. They've been up all night. The person hasn't slept. They're not eating. They're not, we're worried about them, but y'all wasn't worried about me when that fool was over there abusing the mess out of me. You wasn't worried about him then. You wasn't worried about me either. So now all of a sudden it's a big, huge issue now that y'all got to see that this clown is now calling y'all, keeping y'all up all night, because y'all sure wasn't worried about me when I was up all night dealing with this fool. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what they are, foolish people. So this is what you're gonna see. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. If you just remain constant, stay in your no contact, don't give in to the family, don't give in to the flying monkeys, don't give in to any of that, because I'm gonna tell you something. If you ever go back, it's gonna be far worse. If you've ever gone back before and you go back after this time, it's not gonna be anything different. It's gonna be worse. Okay, it's gonna be worse. So in this instance, this is what happens. And unfortunately, you know what? The narcissist basically made this bed. Let them lie in it. All right, family? Listen, this is not your problem. This is their problem. Let them take care of it. All right? So y'all take really good care of yourselves, all right? And I will see you all on the next video, fam. And I will see you all healed and whole at the top. Shalom, family. Peace.